3, 2, 1. And
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, see beyond presenting you Epi 6, Epi siete, uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis. Epi 6 for our Spanish listeners. Epi 6 of the Liver podcast of the 2023 podcasting season for college football and NFL. Nikki, big neck beard, producer double clicks in the top left, Peter Buns, Conrad's corner, Bosco in the bottom middle. Go ahead and get right into it, boys. Got a lot of things I want to cover, including Conrad's time, seeing the Phillies clinch the ALDS last night, winning the wild card 2-0 against the Marlins. Wasn't even close either game. I want to get into that. Nikki, I want to get a 1,000-play season. I want to get updates on college football. I want to get into everything. But first things first, I want to address something that I've been thinking about for like the past week or so. We've been talking, I don't know if it's on the podcast or not, but I've been thinking about this, Conrad. The dude wipes, we're not dude wipes, guys. We're Cottonelle wipes, right? We're Cottonelle guys. The 2 for $5 Giant, Harris Teeter Stop and Shop Giant, whatever your local supermarket may be, can't beat it. You sent us, you pulled it out before a pod, I think, a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. You're out of your backpack and you're like, I got to stay strapped going to the office. And I've been thinking about this more than you probably want to know. And I'm like, is he getting up from his cubicle and carry? Yeah. Yeah. So are you taking that? Like, are you walking with that in your hand to the bathroom from the cubicle you're at the office?
I've never done that before. Those are only in there for like, if I'm traveling, I'm driving on the road and I need to stop like a rest stop or something and really like take a shit, like last resort if I'm at the airport.
Okay.
I've never once pulled it out at work. I've been thinking about, dude, you want to get into it. So we have a cafeteria at the corporate office, Burlington, shout out. Maybe we should bleep that out, but
shout out corporate America.
There's a cafeteria at the corporate office, and I got a salad the other day. Breaded buffalo chicken breast going in, just my protein for the day. First bite, I knew it was going to tear me up for the rest of the afternoon. I had to skip out like 2.5 meetings just in the bathroom, fighting battles, half-ply toilet paper. So in those instances, yes, I wish I could bring it in. I don't know how I would do it, though. I need like
back pocket, shirt over the back pocket or something.
I know, dude.
Under in the pants.
I come from a sale. Like, I've done sales before you guys are doing sales and like always on phone calls and stuff. This job that I'm working now, not sales. It is so quiet. You can hear a pin drop on my floor. So just imagine like pulling out like a crinkling bag and then I, shove it in my back pocket. Everyone's like, what the fuck is he? What is going on? Is he open up a bag of chips? Like, what the fuck?
Dude, it's so funny, Connor, because I know Nikki's got some 2 cents, but we're really on the same wavelength. Sales to not being in sales. And I know exactly what you're saying. It's weird not hearing fucking like fucking, you can hear a pin drop. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, but no. To circle back, I do not bring those with me into the office bathroom. I should. Half-ply toilet paper tears me up every time, but just got to make better choices the night before.
You got to go full psycho, take your whole book bag into the bathroom and come out with a different shirt on. Just throw people for a
shirt on.
Because then
what did he do in there? What was he doing?
Exactly. Then it's so awkward that nobody's gonna call you out. You might have 1 or 2 guys that be like, "Did you shit on yourself and have to change your shirt?" I'd be like, "No, dude. I was just like, I got some pit stains. I just had to swap it up."
Such a good point, though, dude. Like sales offices, those bathrooms are like a stadium bathroom. Like it's such a good point to make. Like those bathrooms are like anything and everything goes. When you're not like the bathroom I have at work is like it's like a house bathroom. It's like a residential area bathroom. And I'm like, after that morning coffee, I'm going right there after the meeting, and I'm like fan on. I'm timing the first rip with the flush. Timing it. But yeah, it's just something I was thinking about. I'm like, that's such a power play if he's walking those in the bathroom. But I need to get that cleared. Up.
Well, you know what's helped out a lot is not drinking like 10 to 12 cups of coffee a day anymore. I've cut that down to, about
plus
2,
the
3,
Starbucks too. Like we get those Starbucks pre-makers, the cream in those fucking things.
My God.
The cream kills me. The cream
Yeah, the
kills me.
sugar, the milk, all
And
of it. Yeah.
salad, like you're saying, is like it's kind of a sneaky meal to watch out for. It's not like Taco Bell, but you think it's kind of a sneaky one to watch out for.
I think the thing is
Dressing, it's gotta be
when
the dressing.
the dressing, I really do think it was the chicken in that specific instance, but like when you
Yeah,
go from like
chicken gets me bad.
you're in football mode and you're just like eating, like you're out and about, you're eating slices of pizza, cheesesteaks, burgers, fries, whatever it is, and you go and like your body's used to just eating junk. And you go to a salad one day to try to be healthy, and your body just
Oh.
fucking
Oh yeah,
it
it's
just
like oh yeah,
betrays
it's like
you.
oh yeah, it's like oh yeah, it's like oh you think this one meal's gonna get you back on track, buddy?
Yeah,
You're gonna
you
fucking
fucking
start.
thought.
Yeah, you're starting at ground zero, my friend. It's still gonna be shitty. That's the
Yeah,
worst
and
part is you make the right choice and it doesn't make a difference in the balance.
Yeah.
Like you gotta do it for like a back to back couple of days.
Yeah, the first meal after first clean meal after a bender like that is like try to reset your stomach. It flushes out all the toxins, and then it's just you got to wipe 50 times with half ply toilet papers to get the job done. You're fucking asshole. Oh man, it's a tough scene. It's a tough scene for corporate America.
And like a couple of things, like I want to recap last week, and that's the thing too. Like where I'm at too, and Nikki, where I'm at too for the recap of Culture Open NFL last weekend. Like whatever's still in the brain, we talk about. If it's not, if you have to search for it, we're not fucking talking about it because it's late in the week. That's where I'm at in the recap for Culture Open NFL. We're gonna get there, but I want to recap a couple of things I thought we missed the past couple episodes. How did we miss lawn care for dad skills? How did we miss that?
Oh, that's
Did we
tough.
say mowing the lawn? I thought we said mowing the lawn.
I don't think we did.
Wow.
I don't think we did. Mowing that's been bugging me. Mowing the lawn and like snow plowing,
Yeah, driveway maintenance.
right,
Like,
right. I'm like, how do
oh,
we fucking miss
I mean,
that?
here's a good one. When like someone like you're in a neighborhood, like the neighbors don't pick up their dog shit on the yard, then the dad goes out there with like a sign and puts the sign in. It's like that is just an all-time dad move. Pick up your dog shit.
I think maybe we come back to that, John, on a list of the best beers because I think after mowing the lawn might be a top 3 beer in any situation.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know about you
It's good.
guys. I don't know about you guys, but the I want to say snowmobile because it's been so long since I've been up, but the snow blower and riding mower. Dude, the riding mower, like my dad, I think he like loved fucking mowing the lawn. Work 12 hours, get home, and get in the fucking work, get like the lawn outfit, the fucking shirt. He loved that riding mower. I think I like he didn't even like I knew how to do it, but he would be like fucking stay off that fucking mower, son. Like I think he actually liked doing it. I'm like, all right.
Was it a good John Deere one or was it like
Dude, he had this thing for forever. He was like, duct tape and all. He had it running for forever.
okay, yeah, that's
like,
what mine was like. Yeah.
Right. And so like I think he didn't want me to
on the
right,
shifter.
right. He's like, all right, when you turn it on, you gotta shove the screwdriver in the exhaust pipe, and then you gotta turn it into neutral. So I think he didn't want me to like fuck it up. But that and dude, the snow blower. When it like a normal fucking
peaceful.
A normal kid's like, we just got 2 feet of snow. I'm fucking jacked. Dude, yeah, I'd be jacked too if I could use a snowblower. I never got snowblower privileges. So I had to fucking shovel the driveway, had to shovel the sidewalk when my little sister, little brother were inside, fucking do whatever the fuck. I used to hate fucking snow days. I'd be like, I'd be like from 9 to noon out there shoveling my fucking ass off. But those are 2 things I thought about. I'm like, oh, we missed those.
That's so funny. You didn't get the snowblower privileges. You're like in constant just fucking like grounded or in timeout out there with the shovel, just manual labor.
Yeah, dude. And I had a big driveway too. It sucked, man. It sucked. But like, and another one too, before we get off it too, is like if you forgot something on the way to a game, like if you forgot a glove, you forgot like an Under Armour, something as small. I remember one time I'm leading off in a baseball game in like 8th grade. My dad's like, you got your Under Armour, right? I'm like, nope. And the pounding on the steering wheel that occurred. We had a detour to get an Under Armour. That's back when like the long sleeve shirts, you called them Under Armour. Like
it was all Under Armour. Everything was Under Armour then.
I remember running, I'm leading off. I'm literally getting dropped off. I'm running to the plate and it's like hot out. It's not even cold. We didn't even need to stop and do this. It was just the principle, but
just so you're not the only one on the team without the Under Armour.
Right.
Dude, one time I forgot playing tackle football, didn't have high enough socks. I was wearing like mid calf socks. Apparently, it's a league rule to be up to the knee. My dad's like, I guess you're just not fucking playing today. Like you just should like. The
Weren't
coach was like,
those
no, we
the
got.
worst?
Coach was like, we got to get him to play. Like we need him. My dad's like, no, you don't. Like he didn't fucking bring his socks. Sit his ass on the bench. I was like, what the fuck?
I mean,
dude?
you want to
Whose
talk
side are you
about
on?
courage? Yeah, you want to talk about courage. That's speaking up in the car ride, like, "Hey, Dad, what?" And then
Yeah,
to go with
you
the what you
know.
forgot, and to go with to say what you forgot. That courage, man, took a lot of courage. And speaking up like that got me thinking. We got the NBA and NHL coming back, and something I want to get right into. Why right into? Just talk about speaking up and courage. What has happened with fans at NBA games? You see the chirping, like remember the past couple years this was picked up, the chirping of NBA players specifically, and they go back at the fan and the fan fucking turtles, fucking I didn't say anything, whatever. I don't know about you guys. Maybe it's just like a me and Turb thing. I live to get a fan, to be as a fan. I live to get a player to turn around and be like, "What'd you say, you little bitch?" Like, why back?
100%.
Why do these fans always back down? Like MLB, I saw it was Anthony Rendon for the Angels this year, like grabbed a fan by the shirt. Dude, I don't fucking care if I'm getting my ass kicked. It's about pride. Like seeing all these fans turtling from players nowadays with the NBA coming back. I had that thinking the other day.
Yeah, I got a theory right here. It's a bunch of fucking people who are on their phones nonstop, rich, prissy, fucking just gets everything handed to them. Their daddy's tickets, their boss's tickets, whatever it is. And they don't have that dog in them. So whenever they say shit and then someone turns around, they turtle like a bunch of bitches. But if you stand there and get your shirt grabbed by a fucking professional player and just let him scream in your face, that's got to be like top 10 feelings at a stadium, right? Like that's got to be
Unreal.
so bad.
And he's going,
like,
you called me a bitch. He's going, you called me a bitch. Remember this guy's like, no, I didn't say that. I'm going like, yeah, I called you a bitch. The fuck you gonna do?
Yeah,
I'm gonna get
exactly.
punched in the face and make a quick mill. That's what I'm gonna fucking do.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Dude, that fucking that I don't know. That's my first thought I had with NBA coming back in a couple of weeks. We got NHL starting next week. And I mean, boys, like right now, college football, NFL, full steam ahead. I love the slate for college football this weekend. Last weekend, that Duke Notre Dame game. I mean,
Oh my God.
You want to talk about a game that was just up for anybody to take? That game was basically a naked girl in the bar, someone take me home, and no one was taking it home. No one was taking that game home. No one was taking that. That
It was ugly.
that 4th and 16 run by Hartman was electric. But the fact
Yeah,
that
it
Duke
was.
didn't win that game, man, that's the epitome of college football, though. A team can look so good, but fucking like all it takes is one play and the whole game changes. Like that's one thing you get in college, you don't get in NFL. And that game, I
Yeah.
thought that was a great low scoring game. And I mean, any big games from last week? I mean, Georgia Auburn was a great one. I mean, Conrad, Nicky, what are your takeaways?
Yeah, I mean, last weekend it was a dogfight. It was a fucking dogfight. Shout out Sam Hartman or the running back for running that in, covering. What's his name? James Franklin at Penn State again with the fake knee or fake spike, whatever he did to cover.
I didn't see it, but I heard about it. That guy.
Yeah,
man,
like
that
I didn't
guy,
see it either,
man.
but I mean, this is why I bet on Penn State every week. James Franklin goes out of his way to cover spreads. I said it multiple times. Oh man,
That is a good feeling to have, though. He's the only coach I know where, like, if you're putting money on him, you know it's going to get to that like situation. If you're
Yeah.
game cast watching, you're like, I know this is going to go down to double zeros. It's going to go to
Yeah.
double zeros.
Yeah, he's not kneeing the ball out.
It's such an
Yeah.
electric feeling. But Nicky, what's your takeaway from what do you got from last weekend, big fella?
So last weekend was tough for me, fellas. I had first off my first losing week of the season.
It wasn't
30
that bad, though. Come on.
No, it wasn't.
Couldn't
It
be
wasn't
me.
that bad. 34, 36, and 1. So
Yeah,
2
come
games
on.
under 500. But it was a wild day Saturday, super unconventional. Golf with John and Turb. Bet games double multiple times because I'm on the course trying to get my bets in for each slate.
Oh yeah, Conrad. He had the Michigan game. He had the over and the under. He had Michigan and Nebraska. I'm like, you're losing. He's just losing money on the vig. He's just paying. He was paying to watch that game. Basically,
Just
he was
like
paying
an
to watch it.
absolute moron I am.
That is insane.
And I don't even think that's the only game. I think there was another game, but I only bet the noon and the 3:30 slate. I drove separately, told John, like, I'm gonna go home, take a shower, I'll meet up with you guys for dinner, and then we'll bet the 7 o'clock slate. got home, laid down to plug my phone in for like 5 minutes. I woke up, it was 1:30 in the
Yeah.
morning.
I've been there one too many times, my friends.
One too many, man. That's the thing, dude. Like
Oh, it's so classic.
and that's gonna be our topic of discussion, Faithful. Our topic of discussion in between the breakup of the preview and the look aheads for this weekend is gonna be golfs, the do's and don'ts of golfing with the boys. And I forget, man. Like when you're out there boozing heavy and you're in like the sun and you're golfing 4 or 5 hours, it does take a fucking toll on you, man.
Oh my
It takes
God,
a
yeah.
toll.
Yeah,
It's tough.
luckily it wasn't too hot. I mean, I had a good time, but obviously, big fella takes a lot more out of me than it does out of y'all to get through those 18
Yeah,
holes.
and dude, and that feeling though, like it's such a good sleep. It's such a good sleep when you
Oh my
wake up
God.
but when you wake up at 1:30 and there's no games going on, you're like, fuck, I missed
Oh,
all of this. It's
Yeah,
the
you miss everything.
worst.
You just gotta YouTube all the highlights from all the big games. Like, what
Yeah.
happened? Overtime?
Right.
What? How did this go to overtime?
Yeah.
How
Right.
did UCF come back against Baylor? Like, what the
I
fuck?
woke up not really
Or
knowing where I
vice
was,
versa.
had all my clothes on, and then had to check my phone to see if I placed any bets before I fell asleep. Just had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, we'll get into that. We'll get into that round stuff here in a little bit. And like I thought in NFL, yeah, so like in college, nothing crazy really happened.
Only one I can
Yeah.
think of for college, the LSU
Ole Miss
who they
game.
play? Ole Miss, yeah,
100
overtime.
points.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy.
Came
I did go-
down to the wire,
Yeah.
came down the wire too with that I always forget his name. The LSU quarterback that throw into the end zone was almost caught. Jalen Daniels. No, that's not
Jordan
Jalen Travis
Daniels?
is
Jordan
FSU.
Travis is
Jaden Daniels.
FSU.
I think it's Jaden Daniels.
I
But
think
yeah,
that sounds right.
that LSU quarterback kind of thrown into the end zone where it was like a good chance of being caught. And I'm like, that game had a chance to keep on going. That was good to see. Just some high scoring because we've seen a shit ton of unders this year. Shit ton.
That was a good one to bet. I looked at that one and I saw LSU struggling on defense. I was like, God, the over was such the play here.
We needed that though, because like the Big 12 for like the past 20 years, up until I think this year, the Big 12 used to be a lock for just who's gonna fucking score 65 points. And this year the Big 12 has just been so fucking bad. I think we need to see that.
USC Colorado came down to it too at the very end. I mean,
Yeah,
pretty
that
big
was
comeback
crazy.
by Colorado. That was a good one too. Again, another game I bet the under for whatever reason. 10 a.m. start time. I mean, the logic was there. 10 a.m. start time.
Oh no, well the over was what 73, 72 and a half, something
right.
ridiculous.
But that's the thing is though, when you have an over, and it's getting crushed, there's still hope. When you have an under and it's getting crushed, and you're like, okay, they can score 8 points for the second half. You're like,
That's exactly. I was like, they
fuck.
needed 8 points the whole fourth quarter, and I was like, there's no shot
Yeah,
this happening.
it's the absolute worst, man. And let me tell you, I mean, that Duke Notre Dame game in primetime was great. The Ohio State Notre Dame game was great. That that New York Giants game. Okay, so here's my thing. Remember when they got blown out 40-0 against the Cowboys week 1 Sunday Night Football? I think because the Cowboys were so good and it was a blowout, like you're on your phone the second quarter, not really paying attention. I think because the Giants had a chance the most of the time in that game, and I was watching like pretty intensely, that might have been the worst primetime game I've ever seen. Because in a blowout, you're like, all right, this team's getting blown out. It's a blowout. You're not really paying attention. The Giants kind of being halfway in that the entire game, I was paying attention. That game was so bad. I didn't see a completed pass for like 5 minutes at a time. Daniel Jones was he had like a second to throw the ball every fucking time. That pick six. I mean, dude, the primetime games for NFL this year have been trash. I was trash. Yeah. I was trash last weekend too. I went 1-4. The only pick I got right was an under. I was terrible. And that's just NFL. You're going to go up and down, up and down. It's hard. You got to ride that wave and hopefully get a couple of better weeks and bad weeks. But the primetime games in NFL, and then like the 4:00 games have been terrible. I mean, look, the Patriots getting fucking smoked by the Cowboys. And I want to go a little bit of a rant, and then Conrad, I want to hear what you got about the Steelers, and I want to hear what you got leading to the Phillies in the game you were at last night. The Patriots, man. We have to move on from the Patriot way. We have to move on from everything that we had for 20 years. Bill O'Brien, if you guys don't remember, not Patriot fans, he was with the Patriots 10 or so years ago. when Brady was at his height, electric in the early 2010s. The Patriots are doing this thing now where it's like Bill O'Brien. He's like your high school girlfriend. You guys had a good run and you get back together. Your mom's happy about it, whatever. But all your friends know how it's going to end. All of us fans know how it's going to end. We can't just keep going back to the old formula that was working and expect it to fucking like keep working. Like it's like, why can't we let what we had be good? Like, why don't we just bring back Romeo Crennel and Charlie Weiss while we're at it? Like, what the like? I want, like I said it in Epi 1 before the season. I want new blood. I want new skin. Mac Jones, I'm telling you guys. Remember when he was crying, being carried off the field last year, when he was crying hysterically? If you're crying hysterically as a leader of men, you better have a fucking bone broken. You better have a bone broken. I think ever since that moment, like you can't recover from that. I'm telling you, you cannot be hysterically crying, being carried off a field and not have a bone broken.
There better be bone going through your skin, not just broken. There better be fucking piercing the skin at that point.
And like, dude, I am just, dude, like, I want the Belichick era to be an era that's remembered for greatness, not remembered for being he held on too long. Like, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, we gotta like just go off into the sunset, fucking enjoy like the rest of the 25 years or so of your life. Enjoy it, even if that, and just I want the Belichick era to be great because I said I don't want them to go 2-15. And my God, the one win, they're gonna have 2 wins against the Jets this year and have 15 fucking losses. I mean, I don't know. The Patriots right now, I want to be like everybody else. Like I've said in previous episodes, I want that star wide receiver. I want a young, promising quarterback. I don't fucking care about establishing the system and keeping the system rolling that we had with Brady. I want something new. I need something new because that game against the Cowboys was so god awful. Mac can't throw the ball. He literally can't throw the fucking ball. And the fact that people are still defending him, I don't understand. I'm happy we needed that game as Patriot fans to fucking have some people that were on the fence about Mac and where Bill's at right now to get woken up. So let me tell you, Boston Sports Radio right now, all week, they're calling for like, Bill, like we need to get something figured out here. And you know what? He's going to leave us in shambles because he's not prepping the next fucking guy to take over. Yeah, right now, I'm a mess. I'm a mess, as you can see. I don't know.
You gotta give the ball to Zappe. I mean, if you want to see that somebody who can throw the ball 70 times a game, he did that for what 5 years in college at Western Kentucky. I mean,
yeah, but it's like we did that last year. And to my point, we're bringing back J.C. Jackson again. It's like, why are we the loser from high school? Why can't we like stop hanging around our loser friends we went to high school with? Like, grow the fuck up. Let's move the fuck on. There's other shit out there. Like Sunday used to be a fucking unreal time for me. Now I don't know how everybody else did it. Like, I don't know how everybody else did it for all those times. You know what I'm saying? Like, like it sucks being a fan and being like, I think we're going to get killed today. And like, and the Steelers are kind of the same boat, Conrad. That was a long rant, but man, I need to get that out.
I'm in the exact same boat as you. I mean, if I'm going to be 100% completely honest here, I didn't even watch the game on Sunday. I thought it was the
Isn't
Texans.
That so sad?
It's so sad. I thought, and you want to know why? I thought it was going to be the easiest win of our season. I was just like, all right, it's against the Texans, easy win. And it's pathetic. It's hard to watch these games. It's hard to root for a team that, like you said, stuck in their old ways. Same exact thing. Mike Tomlin, Matt Canada. What are we switching up at practice this week? Oh, we're going more full pads. Like, what the fuck? Fire Matt Canada. The guy doesn't know how to call an offense to save his life. Getting Kenny Pickett just fucking injured. It's a mess.
And let me tell you, if the whole league knows your offensive coordinator and you're not like undefeated or on a hot start, that's not a good thing. Like you don't want a fan that's not of your team. Like a kid in Arizona is a fan of the Cardinals, knows who Matt Canada is, and the Steelers. It's not because they're good. Like you don't want that.
No, it's the worst possible thing to have for your team. And yeah, I mean, listen, it's been rough since Ben retired in the tail end of Ben's career, but for the longest time, same thing as you, Johnny. I mean, Steelers were running the AFC North. It was a good time to watch football on Sundays. Like you knew that they were going to be good games. They were going to be exciting. And now it's sad. I hate watching it. I watch more college football than I do NFL. I mean, I go out for the birds every Sunday. That's a good time. I'll tell you what, the bars are filled with just
That is one
fucking
thing.
dimes.
That's one thing you're lucky with. I feel like if I was in like a good football city right now,
Yeah.
you kind of get lost in the sauce on Sunday and forget like your fucking team sucks. You kind of forget for that Sunday when you're out and about, you know?
Oh, exactly. Especially this past Sunday. I mean, woke up early, started slamming mimosas, 2 bottles of champagne down the hatch. Then
Bang
we're
bang.
drinking tequila sodas for the 1 o'clock slate. Tough. It was a rough Monday for your boy and for the household here, but like you just get lost in it. Everyone here is a Birds fan. You go to the bar, all like the Birds are on, so obviously I'm watching the game with them. And then I look at my phone, I'm like, oh great, Steelers are down fucking 21-0 in the second quarter. The fucking Texans. What is happening? What has happened to what we know?
And I want to kick it to you, Nikki, as your perspective. And just are me and Conrad dealing with the circle of life or not? Because like I remember like getting home, like I had would have like hockey games in Boston or something, and the Patriots playing at 4 o'clock, and me and my dad are flying the fuck home to catch the fucking game and lock ourselves in the fucking living room. Nobody fucking bother us. Like back when like you felt like you were part of the team watching a game. Now you're just like, I don't even fucking care. Nick, is this just a circle of life that we're finally dealing with, that everyone else has been dealing with for the past 20 some odd years? Or like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, absolutely. Both of you guys have sustained success. What top 2 teams in terms of Super Bowls in the league? I mean, John, I'll start with you. You know who's loving the Patriots struggles right now is Tom Brady. Tom Brady is just stacking W after W after W, saying like all of the shortcomings of the coaching were overshadowed by my skill, because we knew in a 2-minute drill, 4-minute drill, no timeouts, minute 30 left, I'm driving down the field and getting points. You don't have that now with Mac. You don't have anybody on your team really that
you know what he's saying, Nick? People used to say I couldn't throw the ball downfield. What the fuck is Mac Jones then? What the fuck is that then?
Well, that's the thing with Brady. He had that switch where you could just turn it on, where even if he didn't look great throughout 59 minutes of the game, that last minute you were like, fuck, he's got the ball, we're losing. And then Conrad with the Steelers, we got Matt Canada making burner accounts to talk shit about his players.
Yes, I forgot. Yes.
Look up Danny Football 77 on Twitter.
Danny Football 77.
So absurd.
Danny Football 77, where he's just replying to people like, God, what a terrible play call that for Canada. He's awful. And he's like, yeah, I guess Matt Canada was out there throwing that pick too. He threw it into triple coverage. What a loser. I mean,
that is fucking talk about like that is like to even have that out there is just like so bad.
Is it a Pennsylvania thing? We also had the 76ers GM back in the day also with burner accounts. What's going on up there?
Like, I used to have a burner account. It honestly might be a Pennsylvania thing. I used to have a burner account.
This is perfect, and this is perfect. What's the feeling like though? Like, do you send that tweet out and just go, "Oh fuck yeah, there we go. I got my shit out there. I need to get that out." Like, what? Like, what? You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't
listen. When you need like someone to vent to, like. Listen, Steelers fan in Philadelphia. There's not many of us. None of my friends are Steelers fans. They don't give a shit about the Steelers' problems, especially after they were good for so long. So you send off that tweet from the burner account. And you're like, all right, hopefully I'll get some people ride with me and agree with me. More like 95% of the time, people hate your takes from the burner accounts. Like you're just pissed. You're just in a bad mood, is what it is.
It even puts you in a spiral. Yeah.
And then you got people. You're fighting on Twitter. It feels good for the 2 seconds after you click the tweet button. And then after that, it's just, what kind of can did I just open here? Like what? I can't believe I'm just getting shit on by my whole fan base. I thought they would ride with me.
I buried the lead on this. This fucking guy set up the Twitter account with his Steelers email.
Yes.
It's Matthew.Canada@Steelers.com.
No way, dude.
He's got to have some sort of dirt on Mike Tomlin or something. Like, how does he still have a job?
Well,
like, he's got to have dirt.
That's what I was going to say, Conrad. I don't know that it's like to feel vindication or to like get it out there. I think he's trying to run damage control so he doesn't get himself fired. I mean, he's got to be like, oh, well, there's some people who think like, oh, it's Kenny making bad throws, or where you got drops from the wide receivers.
He's just like
It-
he's in like offensive personnel meetings, just pulling up his phone. Look, guys, I mean, people see what
Yeah.
we're trying to do out there.
Yeah.
People see what we're trying to do out there. We should execute.
Yeah,
It's like, what
Exactly.
the fuck?
I don't know, dude. Nothing makes sense to me, but it's also the classic Steelers way where they don't ever make midseason changes. It's always kept in house. Like it's never gross, dirty laundry, never gets aired. Like we've had what 3 coaches for the last 50 plus years of Steelers football. So it's not the Steeler way to fire him
Yeah.
right now, but when you look this bad and like this bad for the first time in a long time, something needs to change. I don't know, like take play calling. Just you don't have to fire him. Just have someone else call the plays. Like just you have to do something more than just saying, oh, he's going to get more responsibility or more like quarterback coach or whatever the fuck it was 2 weeks ago. And then, oh, we're going to just do more pads at practice. That makes no sense to me. You have to try something new. And I just feel like I'm repeating everything Johnny just said. We're just stuck in our old ways. You don't want to go down. Like, you don't want to have like the last quarter of your career be like
Right.
just absolute shit show. You want to have at least some decency before you go out.
Right.
The-
Not go ahead, Nikki.
To lace it all together for both sides of this, I think you guys fire Matt Canada and do the Patriot way and just bring back Todd Haley.
I say no. Fire Matt Canada. Hire Ben Roethlisberger as the OC. Win the Super Bowl.
Alright.
I mean, that's the thing, though. It's like to wrap this all up, like not to. I mean, I'm gonna stick with these analogies. I think this is perfect. I mean, the Steelers and Patriots now cover both dudes that peaked in high school. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like just because it worked back then doesn't mean it's still gonna work now. You know, like fucking
Times are changing.
right. It's like fucking like imagine still doing the stuff you did 10 years ago now. It's like fucking just because it worked then doesn't mean it's working now. I mean, think about every aspect of life. You know, I feel like that's what both our
Everything.
teams. I feel like that's what both our teams are doing. It's like we can't. We're in this weird dilemma where it's like we're either gonna move on fully or we're gonna fucking evaporate and fucking start from ground zero all over again. You know,
And,
it's like
and
I don't know.
the thing is, John, for last point I'll make is it's not like Saban wouldn't have, or sorry, not Saban, Belichick wouldn't have a career. Well, I was thinking about both. of
Right.
them because they're
Right.
both
No, that's
not
good.
doing
Yeah.
great. But Belichick wouldn't not have a career. I know he's very dry, but somebody's putting that guy in a booth. We talked about that a few weeks ago where they're throwing anybody in a booth. You're telling me
Yeah.
he's not getting a spot on Monday Night Football if he wants it, making $20 million a year?
I mean, John Gruden right now is kicking himself for getting out of that booth. Imagine getting paid millions of dollars a year to do one game a week for 17 weeks, to go back into coaching, which is a fucking 365, 24/7, and have a couple emails leaked, and now we haven't heard from him since. I mean, these guys that get these guys that get booth jobs and go back to coaching, like I will never understand it. You're getting paid millions to talk about a game for 17 weeks, one time out of the week. Why the
Yeah.
fuck would you ever go back to that hassle of coaching? But you know, to stick with last week really quickly, Zach Wilson, good for him, man. I mean, I'll tell you what, you look at him, and you're like, would I be friends with him? He seems like a douchebag. Seems like his mom's very hot, which she is. Usually when your mom's hot, you're kind of a fucking douche growing up, probably because all your friends wanted to pork her. I get that. But you look at the kid, like he looks like a douche. And you realize a couple years ago, he brought the whole entire team out to like Idaho to like a little retreat to get away. Seems like he learned from last year from his media mistakes, and to see him out of the game that he had. I mean, I felt, you know, I felt, I don't know, I was happy to see that for him. Then Rodney Harrison, I mean, just to fucking obliterate him with that
Yeah.
post game presser.
Jesus Christ.
No, he's
that was
trash, right?
uncalled for.
No, he's trash, right? He was like tripling, quadruple. I'm like, when is he gonna
Yeah.
stop? Like, what's it that bad?
He put all of his chips in that take right there. He's like, no, come on. You're like, you look at you watch the film and you got to say this guy is just terrible.
Yeah, I'm like, I
Like,
thought that was
dude,
just uncharacteristic
God.
of Rodney too. I was like, geez, but you know,
Well,
I was
he thought
happy to
everybody
see that for
was
Wilson.
gonna agree with him. He thought they were just gonna
Right.
pile on.
Right, 'cause it has been an easy take to have, and I was, even though they lost the game, which by the way, I mean, you want to talk about like that's another thing too. When people say the Patriots always get all these calls, I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Now I can see it with the Chiefs. The calls that they were getting in that game were fucking unbelievable. They were unbelievable, dude. They were so bad. And like, I guess if you're the NFL with this whole Taylor Swift thing going on, you're gonna want to get like 2-0 as Swifties. Like, they're gonna want, like, it's all about money now, man. It's all about money. And the money they're making from that. I mean, who the fuck even knows, man? Who knows the partnerships going on behind the scenes? Like,
Seriously.
That's a money scheme that we don't even know. Like, it got me thinking too, like shit like that. And like, this is going to be very off topic, but like, how do politicians have millions of dollars again? Like, there's nobody like
insider
no
trading.
like nobody ever talks
Come
about
on
that.
now.
But like, how does nobody ever talk about that? How they just have like a $50 million estate. I saw this California senator or something just passed away, the first ever woman senator in California. She has like $60 million and her kids are fighting over. I'm like, I thought the job was like $100,000 a year max. I'm like,
It's like 200.
Johnny, you got to get on the conspiracy
Yeah,
Twitter, bro.
I
They're all
know,
over this.
but
You want me to tell you how it really is? It's insane. It's all insider trading, and
Conrad's
then
Conspiracy
no one
Corner.
reports on it because
They
they're all
have to
bought
report
out by the
themselves.
same people. They're all bought out by the same people anyway. They're all owned. Media is owned by the same person. Politicians are all owned by the same people. It's corrupt. It's the most corrupt thing I've ever seen.
I just can't believe how nobody ever talks about it. It's crazy.
And that one chick I think you're talking about has like a $20 million estate in Hawaii, a fucking Vail Mountain house, one in Montana, one in fucking Florida. They just have like
dude,
$5 million, like $20 million houses. That should not be happening.
It's just, yeah, I just don't like it. Like the other
Makes
day
no sense.
the other day I was thinking about it and I was like, how in the how does nobody ever bring this up? Like, what the fuck? I mean, like, talk about a business to get into. Fucking Paul. Yeah. And what do you really do? What do you really do? If you're a Democrat, you're a Republican, you know your side of the line, you stay on that side, you trash the other side, and you make promises and you get fucking paid millions. It's an electric job when you think about it.
Yeah, there's PJs everywhere. Like it's the life to live. Free food. Everything's pretty much free at that point because everyone wants your publicity. Everyone wants your endorsement. Oh, here's a free meal. Oh, here, right, take the PJ to this game. We'll talk politics. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
like I was just that was like rattling my head this week. I had to get out there.
You're talking about Feinstein. She's not even the most rich politician in California. It's Pelosi, who, like I said, makes $250,000 a year for 40 years and has somehow amassed $400 million in net worth with her and her husband, who got hit in the head with a hammer by some fucking homo.
Yes. There goes Nikki again. There he goes again.
Story.
And yeah,
he's some like hedge fund manager or something. But no, I mean, he's dumping all these stocks weeks before things get leaked out to the public.
Right.
Yep.
It's a shame.
It's crazy, man. And like, you know, it got me thinking. It's something that like we'll never experience and know what it's like on the other side, but something we'll always experience is golf with the boys on the weekend. Something we'll always experience, something we'll always love. And that's what I want to get into for do's and don'ts for this week's topic of discussion. And let me tell you something. First things first, I want to dive into is the stroke controversy. Conrad, do you guys give strokes? Do you do all that when it comes to when you guys do matches? Or how does your guys' matches go on the weekend? You guys just playing your own ball, playing for fun, or what do you guys get into?
So no, before I came around and started golfing more heavily with the boys, they would all just play for fun. I'm like, no, we got to put money down. We got to start teams. We got to do something. So of course, I introduced them to dots and whatnot. Normally, how it goes, we don't give strokes. We probably should. We just try to do two pairings. Normally, it's like, you know, two guys who are on the same level and then two guys who are lesser, and it's just whoever has a better day.
Right, you try to match you try to match your teams evenly based on what you guys know. Play your own ball. You do team, you do like a team match play or team stroke, whatever it may be.
Best score, same thing, yeah.
And by the way, kind of remind me after we get this topic of discussion, before we get to the previews for this weekend, we got to hear about your Phillies night last night. After this topic of discussion, we got to hear about the Phillies last night and their experience. But so what we do down here is we do skins. People that don't know skins, you get a dot for winning the hole. You can get a dot for your aggregate, which is your team, you and your partner combined, and you do a dot for lowest. Whoever had the lowest dot, that team gets the point. You do a dot for birdies, greenies, which is a par 3 close to the pin, half a 2-putt. You don't 2-putt, the greenie carries over to the next par 3. You find yourself in a bunker anywhere on the course, you go up and down for par. It's called a sand, you get a dot for that. So there's action everywhere. Right? And what we do is you stroke off of the guy who's the lowest handicap. So everyone strokes off of him. Everyone strokes off the guy with the lowest handicap, right? And Turb, I wish he was on here for this. But Turb is usually in a situation where it comes, you hit the turn. I need more strokes. I need more strokes. I'm playing terrible out there. And then he turns it on with all the strokes in the back. It was the rare situation where Trevor was on the opposite end, and Nick was like, "We're about to fucking hose them, but I need strokes. I just played terrible." And to Nick's credit, he shot a 51. Trevor shot a 49, and Nicky was getting like 3 less strokes than he was. So we renegotiate, and it didn't. And Nicky got 1 more stroke than he had on the front and the back. And me and Nick took 17 dots on the back. We were down 7 dots in the turn, came back and won on 18. It was electric. And Terb the whole time. Terb's walking off 18 green after I made a birdie putt that was the size of my soft cock to fucking take home all the dots. And then I just hear Terb walking off. Great round, Johnny. Nicky, you're never getting fucking strokes off the turn of me ever again. Ever again. And like, you know, and it got me thinking just about like a bunch of stuff about do's and don'ts, you know, golf with the boys. Real quick, a don't. When you have a good shot, just say thank you. Like, when someone says that was a fucking unbelievable shot, great shot, bro. The guy who comes back with, I mean, I thought I caught a little bit fat there. It was like a 5-yard draw. I want to be a 10-yard draw. Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
Just say thank you and then fucking move along. Like, just don't be that guy that's like, you just hit it to 10 feet by the pin. And don't be that guy that's like, oh, I didn't catch it with all I had. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, don't be a hardo. Don't be a fucking hardo. We're all out here to have a good time. Not everyone is nearly as good as the best player out there. Don't be a cocksucker. Don't be a hardo. Don't be a cocksucker. Just say, yeah, pick up the tee and keep going.
It's a big don't for me. And Nicky, like I want you guys to get involved too. I'm trying to set you guys up. Like Nicky, you're gonna agree with this one fully. The guy that goes out there, no action, no alcohol, no beers. What the fuck are you doing? There's other sports. There's other sports to play. Yeah. Like you said, Conrad. Like last time I played for fun, I was maybe like 9 years old. I remember being 13 years old. And you're playing for a hot dog after the fucking round, which was like $20 back then. Like you have to play for something. And I'm not saying you have to get obliterated drunk out there, but half the battle when we play is how can you play when you're 13 beers deep on hole 16 with all this money on the line? That's kind of half the fucking battle.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows there's a bell curve in sports, or whether it's cornhole or golf. You get better as you get drunk, and then you fall off the fucking cliff, and it's how long can you hold on?
Right. And again, being the hardo, don't be the hardo. Yeah, don't be hardo. Don't be the guy that's, I want to go low today, I'm not drinking. What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
What are we doing here?
Yeah, so you're gonna have a bad shot and be sober, be even more pissed off about it. You know, like that's like that. That's a big one for me. Like when we go out there on the Saturday, call triple side, like last weekend, Nicky had a handle of fucking Tito's. He had like a 12-pack of Jack and Cokes. We were just out there letting it rip. You're just out there letting it rip. You got to have a shotgun on one par 3 as a group. You got to do one shotgun with the group on one par 3. And like I'm trying to think of like some like big do's, some big don'ts. A big do that I really love is I love getting the tee time on that Monday or Tuesday. I love doing a group chat for whoever's in the foursome and getting it going. Then like you get that text on Friday night from one of the boys. Guys, I'm so pumped for tomorrow. The course looked epic. Yeah. I drove by going home from work today. The course looked awesome. Like I fucking love that shit. But you guys got any big ones to throw in here?
I don't know. I might be in the minority here, but like same thing. So when we're playing for money, playing for dots, and like you have a gimme putt to tie the hole.
Here we go.
Do you make them putt it, or do you make them? You just say, "Oh, it's a gimme."
So Nicky, give your 2 cents on this.
It matters in the situation. One, if you just saw them miss a 4-footer on the last hole, I'm making you putt it. Right? Inside the leather is always always good. But there's the friend zone. It's what we call it when we're playing. It's the friendship zone. Like, that one might be just outside that zone. We're going to have to see you putt that one. But in terms of like actual gimmies, if you make somebody putt something that's 6 inches, you're an asshole.
Well, yeah, okay, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like, it's right on that friendship zone.
It's different situations. For instance, if it's to win a hole, you're putting it. If it's to win a hole and it's not a tap in, you're putting it. If it's
to tie the hole, you're
too, putting it. You're putting it. Yes.
Okay, then that's my biggest one that I came up with. I mean, I get ripped for that. I make everyone putt. I'm like, you can't just take this gimme.
You can't give someone a gimme, be like, oh, we tied. Like you can't. And the only time you can maybe do it is if it's the first guy in, and it's like that's like pretty good. You're like, that's good. But if it's the last guy to finish the hole, and it's to tie or win or to lose.
Yes.
You gotta see it. Like you can't just give away. You can't give away money. That's what you're fucking doing. Like someone has a birdie putt. Birdie putts are one thing. I don't care if it's a tap in, if it's 4 inches, if it's 4 feet, you got to score. You got to putt it. I can't just give you a -1 on the hole. You got to putt birdie putts. You got to putt to win the hole, to lose the hole, to tie the hole. And it all depends too. Like if you're golfing with like your boss or something, I will give him a 20-footer. It all depends on the situation.
Right.
It all depends on the
Situational,
situations you're in. Like when you're with the boys and you're battling on the weekend, like people like if people could see us, and we gotta get GoPros out there. Me, Nick, Dolphin, Kevin were going at throats. I got to a point where I'm going at Nick's throat, my own partner. Nick's trying to help me read a putt on 17. I'm like, Nick, last time I checked, I'm 7 over your 17. Get the fuck out of my line. He's my partner.
I got it 2 balls out to the left, and he goes, Nick, I'm on pace for 79. And I'm like, okay, fucking takes his reach.
Nick's just like, I'll go fuck myself.
Misses by 6 feet, and then he walks over. He goes, I think you had to read there. I think,
yeah. And like how it starts too in the beginning of the match. Like we're firing all cylinders. Everyone's having a great time, and then when you get down to the nitty gritty, you get into it, and that's a big do for me. Don't be the guy that on hole 1, it's not hole 18. You work up to the point it's gonna get hostile. It's going to get hostile, and it's going to people going at each other's throats. It's going to happen. Enjoy the early part of the round. And when it's time to get interesting, when it's time to get intense, it happens. It happens.
Front 9 is just a warm up. The back 9 is where things get heated, and you ride the wave. You say, okay, good shot. Yeah, wait, good to chip. Wait to chip on there. Good putt, blah, 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 blah. And then the second they miss that birdie putt on the back 9, I'm fucking, you are fucking trash.
And that's another thing too. Nikki, take this and run with it. I am a big fan. I don't know about you guys, but if I have a 10-foot putt and it's a big putt, I want to know about it. Like the guys that are like, you're like, that's a big putt. We got a really big putt coming, and Buddy misses it. And we all know those guys, they miss it. Thanks for fucking saying that, dickhead asshole. I'm like, dude, I want you to know it's a big putt. What the fuck are we out here for? Like, I want you to say that, and I want to fucking drain it. If I miss it, it's on me. It's not on you. I fucking missed it. If that creeps into your mental that bad on a weekend round to the point where you're angry at that person, you got something else going on upstairs.
Yeah.
Now,
you got to see a therapist. You got other things to unpack there.
Conrad, I will say that John did sugarcoat it a little bit. I was Nicky fucking bitch pants out there. I was playing awful. Like he said, shot a 51 on the front. I thought I was losing every ball in my bag. And I have
Nick was doing that thing where he hits a bad shot and he's running after the ball to hit it immediately. I'm like, oh dear God, it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse.
I was spiraling bad. And I did text Turb after the round and be like, hey man, sorry for being an asshole. Like, I am typically a better golfer than Turb, so taking strokes from him at the turn might not be the coolest thing to do. So I apologize to him because we fucking smashed him on the back. But speaking of John saying like, oh, that's a big putt, I did hit Turb with an absolute dog shit line, and it was on like the 16th hole, and he'd been driving like shit, and there's a pond right off the tee. And I say, hey man, just pretend like there's no water right in front of you. Just pretend like it's not there.
Which I wish he was here to defend himself, because he knows for damn sure he'd say the same fucking thing.
Yeah, no,
he knows for damn sure. And another big thing that pisses me off. I don't care how intense the match is, but you help people look for their fucking ball. They're not on your team. Yeah. It doesn't fucking matter. You're helping to keep the pace of play. You help people look for their fucking ball. I can't stand those people that don't fucking look for other people's balls. At least fucking drive the cart over to the cart path and like gaze or something. Like, it's all about keeping the pace of play up.
At least pretend to look. If you're not going to look super hard, just pretend to be like, I don't know. I'm not seeing too much over here. It's looking a little bare. Something. Just as you're driving by, just do a little side sweep. You got to do something.
Yeah. Pace of play was one of my big ones on my list, John. If you're a brand new golfer and you go out with the boys and you want to hit every single shot until you get it in the hole, and God, you are just hacking up the course, pick your fucking ball up and drop it by somebody else's. Take another cut. If you lose it, take another ball out, drop it with someone else again. We are moving along. We're not going to let you sit here and just hack into the ground for 13 shots.
Group,
until you
yeah, a
get
group.
onto par three.
There's a group behind you, and they're re-putting their putt, and it just makes me cringe down my spine. They used to call Nikki. Nikki learned that. Kudos to Nikki. See, Conrad, I'm taking credit for something maybe I should have, but these guys in Charlotte, I kind of molded from my past of golf. 1 year JV, 1 year varsity, not a big deal. I've kind of molded these guys into being the perfect weekend golfers. I used to call them Nikki Reloads. Here's the reenactment. Nikki would be in like bunkers. I don't have shorts on, but he hit a bad shot and his hand would just be like this. Throwing a ball down, hit another one. His hand's like, he's like, have you seen like Zoolander when he's doing the underwear? That's Nick going for his ball, drops it down. I'm like, Nick, you're in a bunker. What are we doing? And I'm just skying him. He's just skying him over the bunker.
Yep, I got a buddy who does that too. It's like, and then a big don of mine, he'll try to play the second shot he takes.
Oh, no, you can't. Okay,
I'm like, there's no way.
No,
like,
especially there's money.
Oh,
no
I'm like,
chance.
I'm watching. I'm like, okay, which one was your first shot? Which one was the second shot? I'm like, I don't know. This ball looks a little bit different than the one you were using.
And like that's one thing I'm bad with. Like if I'm beating the shit out of somebody and I want to see some life, because I'll press till I fucking die. I don't fucking care. $2 dots, we're down $20. We press down 40. I'm gonna, maybe that's just maybe that's just the degenerate gambler in me, but I will press till I die. And some of these guys be like, no, I'm not gonna press. And it's like hole 12. And you're like, so this match is over. We're just playing for fun the rest of the time. So I have a bad habit of being like, I'll let you hit another one. I'll let you hit another one. And they hit another one, they peer it. And I'm like, all right, we got a match again. And those same guys will be like fucking when like when I have like a bad lie or something, you gotta play it. I'm like, motherfucker, do you remember 2 fucking holes ago, 20 minutes ago? What are we doing?
Yeah, let me kick out of like from underneath this tree root or something. Like, give me somewhat of a decent lie.
I do love that though. So like what I've got these guys to adapt to now is like we're playing the ball down everywhere. You get a club length in the fairway. I do love though when something like that comes up, a drain or something. There's some guys you'll give yourself a line. Like we're not like, what the fuck are we doing? You're not gonna break your club. Some guys go, all right, they move it like a foot, 2 feet. Some guys, I'm like, he just gained 20 yards. What the hell just happened? And that's like, that's like, I don't know. It's stuff to me. Like, if you get pissed about, like, I don't get pissed about that shit on the course, man. If you're playing for money, I'm like, he knows what he did. He's still going to make a shot. It's like, I don't know. I think the real reason why I want to fucking talk about this too, is just because I'm seeing nowadays the new wave of golfers from COVID, these guys that think that they're going on tour. It's like, dude, you're not wearing pants to the course in like August, like fucking. The whole point of golf for me is
Under Armour underneath it too, so no sun hits the skin. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Right, like the reason why we like doing college football Saturday golfing is because one, you're catching game day in the morning, you hit the course, everyone's buzzing. It's Saturday. Where are the bets at? You're in a great mood. Sunday can kind of be a little bit different. You just went all day Saturday drinking. Sunday morning, you're like, what the fuck, work tomorrow. That's why we like doing it on Saturdays to begin with, because it ignites your weekend. It ignites it. You have a good time out there. You go low, it's a bonus. But when you go out there, it's all about drinking, having a good time, and fucking like, I don't know. Like some people that take it way too serious. That's just what fucking irks me. I don't, unless you're playing for big fucking money, then it shouldn't be on a college football Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. If you're playing for big money, then yeah, it shouldn't be out there on Saturday. And if you're out there not playing for money on Saturday, then what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, you got to play for something. Always have to play for something. It could be anything. It could be anything. It could be fucking, remember the little finger football? Like fucking, you're trying to kill time at the office. Like, hey, loser of this fucking buys a fucking, I don't know, buys a beer after work or something like.
Yeah, it can be the turn dog. It can be a JMO shot at the turn.
Has to be something.
Like, really, yeah, drink at the bar afterwards. Anything, just something that maybe that's just us with the competitive spirit in us, but it's got to be for something.
Yeah, maybe it is, but like my whole thing is like that's all we have now. Like I can't go play a fucking, like, I know like you do like a men's league lacrosse and shit. Colorado men's league hockey's down here is big too, believe it or not. But it's like, dude, that is like, you're going to the rink, you're getting geared up, you're going to play. It's like a whole event. Like if you want to have like the perfect way to still have your competitive edge that you had years ago, it's golf. Like making that big putt, making that 20-footer and all your friends' faces. Like that's all we have now. We're not gonna be scoring touchdowns on Sunday. So it's like, that's like when people don't golf, I'm like, what the fuck do you do with yourself? Like imagine when the boys like, hey, you guys want to go to the tennis court this weekend? Get the fuck out of here. What the fuck? Like, fuck no. But,
I'll fuck up some pickleball though. I'll fuck up some pickleball.
yeah, pick up. I mean, exactly. What is that? Less
Less
work.
running.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Golf. No running whatsoever. Like watching Nikki walk when it's car path only, watching Nikki walk across the fairway to his
come
ball.
on.
Oh, it's fucking
Come
electric.
on.
No, it's low hanging fruit. I'll give you that, Conrad.
Oh,
but
when
it
we
is-
see car path only, Nikki will be like, I want to go home. I'm like, fuck,
Yeah, he's like, cancel the round.
No.
I showed up. I showed up like an hour and a half early to a round one time because I was like, I have to hit balls. I haven't hit in forever. And I get in the cart, and where the scorecard normally is, there's a sign that says cart path only. I just snapped a picture and sent it to John, and I said, Nikki's worst nightmare. And it was awful. It's like middle of the summer. It's 95 degrees, 100% humidity, and we're playing on fucking cliffs like this.
Oh,
and
yeah.
my ball's running all the way down. I got a 70-yard walk all the way across, all the way back. By the end of the round, swamp ass, unbelievable.
Oh my god, I can only imagine. Especially when you're a pretty good golfer like you two are. You're hitting shots in the middle of the fairway for the most part. Where me, I'm like hitting it into the trees, hitting it next to the cart path. So it's not that big of a deal for me. But for you guys who can actually play golf, that's gotta be the worst.
It's just so funny too. Like hole 3, Nikki's like, we're not doing this anymore. We're on the green, looking back at the fairway. We're looking back at the fairway. It looks like a fucking NASCAR race just took place.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
a total disregard for card signs by the green. I'm like on the fringe. We're like on the fringe.
I'm a big time. Oh, my fault. Like the ranger comes around, catches us. Hey, cart path only. Ah, shit. My fault, man.
And like, did you see?
I forgot.
Did you guys see Kirk Minahan on I don't know if you guys follow foreplay or not, but you see like Kirk Minahan's been getting a lot of posts for, like the Ryder Cup that they did, and like he's making big putts and he's going crazy. Fuck you, let's go. And people in the comments are like, this needs to leave golf now. I can't stand this. I'm like, dude, if you're not showing that emotion out there, go sit on your fucking bedpost, buddy. I mean, I fucking live for that shit.
Yeah, they were also playing for like 10K or something, whatever it was.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm doing that for $100. I'm doing that for $100. And plus too, when you're the opposing team you're playing does that, all I'm just like is here we go. Here we fight. Like, I don't know, but people don't like that intensity. Like, that's the thing, dude. Fucking golf guys on Instagram, like in the comment section, are such fucking D-bags. Nice running on the green, asshole. Like, fucking the greenskeepers are gonna love you. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. You're not a Pebble.
Jesus.
You're not a Pebble Beach. Like, fucking, that's one thing, dude, is that like fucking these golf kids that played in high school and they only played that in high school, and now everybody loves their sport. They think that they fucking hold the rules in the hierarchy.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, don't forget you were a virgin who swung a stick. Everyone fucking made fun of you. Now everyone loves your sport. You think you're fucking King Nectar. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Well, couldn't have said it better myself, honestly.
And you know, unless you guys got anything else, I mean, that's just something quick I thought of today we could chop up and maybe run with. But if you got anything else, Nikki.
One last don't, and it's show up late or miss a tee time.
Oh,
it's the worst.
Missed one tee time in my entire life. I mean, I've heard my boss even says, be late to work. Don't be late to a tee time.
It's the worst. I unfortunately had it happen to me last month.
Shut up, Big Ken.
I was meeting up with 3 guys from the office, and I show up. They're already on hole 7. Just completely slept through all of my alarms. I show up, pay out the bet on the front and the overall, and like split the overall so I can push now and pay out my partner for his front 9. You got to do that. If you're showing up late, you're paying out the bets. You lost.
That's a man of honor. That's a man of honor.
If you show up that late, I mean, yeah, you're definitely paying out the bets. I don't think I've ever showed up that late before.
When he's saying hole 7, that's literally my one time too. I mean, I gotta tell this one. So like, it was back. Last time I was in Greenville 2 years ago, playing at Ironwood in Greenville, which is like a very nice course in Greenville. Mm-hmm. And all the boys are talking about it for like a month. And of course, I ignite everything. I set up the tee time. Be that guy who sets up the tee time, gets everyone situated. You want to talk about being an all-time guy? Be the guy that sets up the bachelor party, the tee times. There's nothing better than getting that text, boys. This course that we all love, 9:30 tee time. I got transfusions. Be that fucking guy. And I love being that guy. I try to be whenever I can. Everyone should try to be that guy whenever you can. And I was this guy 2 years ago. Whole entire month, 2 foursomes, everyone's jacked up. Back in Greenville again, get liquored the F up, you name it. And I like forget that I don't live in Greenville anymore. Long story short, I think that Little River's still my house. My bedroom's still my bedroom.
That's not the case.
Take a girl back to the house. That's not my house. That's not my bedroom. Next thing I know, I wake up at 6 a.m. What the fuck? And this isn't what the hell was I getting into last night? But at 6 a.m., we got plenty of time. Fall back asleep. Wake up to so many missed calls, so many missed texts. Call Tuna, and I'll never forget calling Tuna and just like that feeling of looking down at your clock and knowing the boys are on hole 2 or 3, calling Tuna and just immediate, what the fuck is wrong with you? People in the background, go fuck yourself. Fucking die. Oh my God. I Uber. I leave the girl behind in Donnie's bed. I leave her behind. I Uber. I leave like $5 on the counter for like her ride home. I don't know what that would buy. Maybe like a line bike for a half hour. I Uber to the course. I show up on hole 7, and I was so mad at myself, so pissed. I see the boys. And the first thing out is just like Donnie chirps me, and I'm so pissed. I'm like, shut the fuck up, eyebrows. And everyone starts dying laughing, and then fucking like whatever. It's a good laugh now. But that feeling of missing that tea time. And the worst part is the boys were on a mission to find me that morning. Went to Little River to look for me. Didn't go upstairs. I was right there. They just didn't go upstairs, else they would have had me. They went on a mission to find me. By phone, I was passed out. That feeling, though, of waking up late for that tea time, once in my life. It's the only time in my entire life. And fucking, let me tell you, there's no worse feeling. There's no worse feeling. When it's talked about for a month in advance, it was fucking brutal. But only one time. And Connor, you haven't missed one, have you?
No, I mean, not for ones like that. If we're doing anything big like that, we're probably traveling somewhere, so everyone's under the same roof anyway. But no, I mean, I also don't golf as much as you guys, so I'm sure there's still time. There's still time for me to fuck up here and there. But no, can never say I've gotten there when they've been like halfway through the front 9. I've gotten there where it's like they've already teed off. They've already teed off on the first hole. I'm like, come back to the parking lot, pick me up. I'll just start on hole 2 or 3 or whatever it is. Never like 7 or 8. That's ridiculous.
It's literally like that. I'm trying to think back, like just like thinking back at the moment when you look down at your phone and see those missed calls. It's just an immediate.
Your heart drops.
Yeah, just an immediate stomach sink. And I forget what I was going to touch on really quickly. Fuck. I mean, Nick, you got anything really quickly? What I think about? I was just about to say.
I don't. I'll be honest with you. I don't.
It's gonna bug me. But Conrad, I need to hear about the Phillies game last night. I need to hear about Red October. I need to hear about your night. What was it all like?
Dude, so first and foremost, I mean, Red October, it's been so long. Last year's Miracle Run, that run last year was probably the most fun I've had in my life. You're going out every single night, especially when your team's playing well like that. Phillies were buzzing last year, so obviously the hype is even more this year. It's like, get back to the World Series again, or like season's pretty much a bust. So the whole city's buzzing. They clinched the playoffs a week and a half ago, whatever it is. So after the Birds game on Sunday, it's like pretty much time to lock in. I'm hungover as shit Monday. Go out for the game Tuesday. See a good win. Obviously, Wednesday I have to go in the office, leave early. You get down here, there's traffic starting at 3:30 on a Wednesday for an 8:00 game. The traffic's insane, but get home, just grab a couple beers, get on the train, get down there, and then the place is just swamped.
Wait, so you were in the office yesterday?
Oh, yeah, I was in the office yesterday. Got there early. I was hungover from Tuesday again. Got to the office early on Wednesday. I was like, I got to get out of here early because the traffic took me – so normally it takes you about 35 minutes to get home. Tuesday it took me about an hour and 15, an hour and 20. So I'm like, all right, I got to get out of here early if I'm going to make it to this fucking game. Anyway, get home. But the second you get off the train, so if you've ever been to Philly, if you're not parking, you're not tailgating at the stadium, you're pretty much taking a train or Ubering. If it's a home game like this where it's going to be a sold-out game, you're not driving anywhere. You're going to be stuck on the highway for fucking half an hour. So you get off the train, right? Then it's Wells Fargo Center, the Link, Citizens Bank Park, all three of them.
I love that about Philly.
You're walking up the steps, you make the left out, and it's stadium, and then at least 20 tailgate lots.
So train goes right
everywhere.
there.
Train goes right there.
It's awesome.
You can open containers everywhere. Nobody gives a fuck. Like everyone's just out having a good time.
That
And
train's probably the best party bus there is.
oh, dude, the train ride on the way down there, if you get on the right one, it is slam
Then
packed.
after a
Everyone's having a
win,
good time. Oh yeah, it's a great after a big win too. It is so much fucking fun.
how early did you
I
get
mean,
there last night?
What'd you say?
How early did you get to the game last night?
I don't know what the fuck you're saying.
How early did you get to the game?
Oh, we probably. I was like, what the fuck are you saying? We probably got to the stadiums around. We got like off the train at 7 o'clock. First pitch is at 8:08. It's 10-minute walk from the train to the stadium. You just walk down this one sidewalk, and there's like a little festival going on outside. There's Ferris wheel, DJ, vendors,
Yeah,
food
that's
trucks, all this
awesome.
stuff going on. Xfinity's
Ferris
popping
wheel.
off across the street. Everyone's like out here drinking, like, let's go, let's fucking go, Phils. And I mean, dude, you get into that stadium.
Seats look pretty good.
Seats, I mean, dude, it was upper deck. We got second row, like great seats, honestly. It's fucking too expensive.
Nobody in front of you because you can see everything. Nice.
Yeah, well, there's one row in front of us, but they could
Right,
sit
but
and see
still, you know, you
everything.
get what I'm saying.
Yeah, they were good seats. I mean, there's really not a bad seat at Citizens Bank Park, but I mean, dude, I'm telling you, from the first pitch, from the opening like of the lineups, everything, the stadium was jam packed. And real quick, by the way, the stadium workers need to get a fucking stick out of their ass. You know how they give out the rally towels when you walk in the stadium?
Yes.
So I walk through the fucking metal detector and I'm putting all this stuff in my pockets. I'm like, oh, can I get a rally towel? And they're like, no, you already walked past this. You can't get a rally towel. I was like, what do you mean? I'm standing right next to you. You're not going to give me a rally towel? It's a fucking World Series playoffs. And this guy's like, you want to get kicked out before this game even starts? I was like, I said, buddy, you need to get laid or something. There's no way you're going to be this worked
over
up
a rally towel.
He's like, you already have one. I was like, you want to fucking strip search me for a rally towel? Go ahead, bud. Like, I was furious. And then Philly fans, of course, there's a long ass line to go up the escalator, get to the top section. I had no idea there's a line. I come from the opposite direction of where the line is. I just fucking hop on the escalator. This mom just starts chirping me. There's a fucking line. You knew there was a fucking line. What the fuck is your problem? Everyone's been waiting, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, lady, this is the first playoff game I've been to, the first game ever in my life that there's been a line to go up an escalator.
Yeah, what the
game,
fuck?
Like, simmer the fuck down. It's one person getting behind you. People just in the stadium before the game, tensions are high. People have sticks up their ass.
Yeah.
But all in all, I mean, dude, that game was unreal from start to finish. We were pretty much standing, I want to say like 80-90% of the time. Rally towels going, home runs getting hit, Schwarber getting doubles, dude. Stott's fucking grand slam home run was unreal. With the error right before you get the bases loaded.
A grand slam, being there for a grand slam too. That's fucking electric.
In the playoffs, second Phillies grand slam in the postseason ever. Other one to do it was Shane Victorino in 2008 when they won the World Series.
Victorino, Red Sox legend too.
Oh my God, there's videos. I can keep posting videos and like it still doesn't do it justice of how just like electric that place was.
And that's the thing,
the
dude.
Concourses were empty the whole game. Everyone was in their seats the whole game.
Yeah, see, that's fucking like that's one thing. Like people say what you want about down south, and I love being down south. I love being in Charlotte. I love being in the Carolinas. But those northeast cities, man, Philly, no matter how bad New York is, no matter how bad Boston is, those northeast sports cities, man. Like, remember as a kid, dude, and even up until I was in high school, like those Red Sox teams, when they would make runs. And if you were lucky enough to go to a game, like those atmospheres for baseball playoff games, man, especially like you guys haven't won since what? 2008, right? It's the last time you guys won a World Series. Yeah, and it's not even a long time. But you take into like the Red Sox, 86 years. Remember being at the game 2 of the World Series as a kid in 2004? Like when you're there, like because baseball is the one sport that everyone has played at least once. It's like soccer. Everybody's at least played it once. And like we're in those cities, like dude, just the atmosphere of those cities, like college towns down here are unreal. Don't get me wrong. But when you have a city that alive and you know at work yesterday, everyone's counting down, they're planning ahead how they're getting to the game. Everyone's on the same fucking page. Everyone's locked in. When you're locked into a game like that, like that's the thing like baseball betting. Like fuck, when it comes down to the wire, you have to hold your breath for 2 seconds, pitch happens. relax again. And then we hear that crack of the bat, when everyone roar, like there's nothing like it, man.
And I think the thing about baseball, the postseason baseball that just makes it so electric, these environments, is that it takes one crack of the bat. All it takes is one crack of the
Right.
bat, and the game could just be flipped completely over. Like you could be down 0-2 or like driving away, just fouling off, and then bang. All it takes is one crack, and it's a fucking solo home run. All it takes is first pitch, crank over the middle,
Yeah, it's the
and
one
it's a
sport.
fucking grand
It's the
slam.
one
Dude.
sport.
Oh my
Dude,
god.
Conrad, it's the one sport where you can be so far away but be so close. You're down 1, 2 outs, 2 strikes, bottom of the ninth. You're so far away, but one good crack and that's a tie ball game. It's the one sport where you can ever be so far away from having a big play and you don't even know it sometimes. That's that intensity of October baseball, and fucking good for you for being a city that has that going on. A good football team right now, a good baseball team. You're getting out there, you're loving it, you're enjoying it. I hope the Phillies make a run because the bank, I fucking hate calling a stadium a nickname. It's not even mine, but that place is electric, man. That place has been rocking.
Dude, if you watch any of the videos on Twitter, which I know this group has, Twitter, Instagram, but if you're listening and haven't seen any of the videos of Bryson Stott's home run where it's just the sound from the stadium, that shit will give you chills. It is, and like last year when I was watching the Bryce Harper home run against the Padres, the seventh in the World Series, I was at a bar, jam-packed, and I swear I felt like I was at the stadium. It's how loud that bar was. When you have a city like this and a team that's buzzing like this, and a team that like is full of dogs that everyone loves, Will Dees, for whatever reason, was trying to tell me Bryce Harper is like the baseball equivalent of Grayson Allen. I don't know how he's grouping those together.
Whoa.
I don't know how he's grouping those together. I think it's because he's a crazy weirdo Braves fan, but like when you have those atmospheres and you have that one pitch and that one hit, I might cry thinking about Bryce Harper's home run from last year. It's how awesome it was. I know exactly where I was, what I was wearing, what I was drinking, who I was with. I could tell you every moment from that. So October baseball is the best. I mean, October is the best month of the year. They have every single game, every sport. We have 50 days of nonstop football coming up. Like it's the best time of the year. There's nothing better. I get emotional about it.
And let's get into football for this weekend. I thought of what I was going to say before. I wanted to hear your recap of last night. It's going to tie in to basically a little bit of what you just experienced. When it comes to tee times, to work after going out for a game like that, this generation, I don't want us to forget, because my old man used to always tell me, especially fucking in college, a little bit after college, when you have that early morning tee time, you don't, and I become a victim of this. Or you have a big game on a weekday like that. You're like, I'm not going to go too hard because I got work tomorrow. I'm not going to go too hard because I have the tee time tomorrow. No, that's half the battle is you go out, you put the wheels on, you try to get some tings, try to get some action the night before. You wake up the next morning, 3 hours of sleep, you got a tee time, you feel like shit, you don't want to go do it, but you get out there, a coal or two in, you're fucking back. You get the beers going again, you're back. I don't want this generation to turn into, we're canceling this tee time. I can't make it. Because we're up in Michigan. We fucking did that shit. And it was an hour away. Fucking granted, we were down horrendous. I pissed myself 3 times. We already know. That might have been an exception. Like I said, I've become a victim of it myself. But like I guarantee all the kids that are our age that were at the game last night for that Phillies game, that was insane. I was electric, calling out of work the next day. Half the battle is you go and do that. You be a man. You go out with the men. You wake up with the men. But like when it comes to fucking tee times, when it comes to going to work the next day, you don't let it affect your night. You still have your night and you be a man that night, you be a man the next morning. That's what I wanted to say before your Philly recap, Conrad. It kind of ties in perfectly what you just did last night.
100%. I mean, if you're gonna be a big dog and go out for these games, and don't call in sick the next day. Don't be a fucking pussy, dude. Nut the fuck up, saddle up, wake up. 3, 4
how good
coffees,
is that
cold
feeling?
shower. I mean, there's nothing better waking up hungover on a victory day, like Victory Thursday, where
going through Twitter like you played. But how good is that feeling at the end of the day when you made it? When you made it, you're like, I could have bailed out today. I could have been a bitch. Everyone has like 1 or 2 days a year where they're at work and they're like, I can't do this right now. But if you fucking sack up and get through it, that feeling when you're leaving, you're like, I fucking did it. Let's fucking go. Unreal feeling.
It's the little things, man.
And like you said, Conrad, Sports Equinox, all the football we have ahead of us, college, NFL. Let's get into this quick Why do I want to keep saying recap? Quick preview of the upcoming weekend before we let the people get out of here. College football, NFL. We'll touch college first, boys. Red River rivalry to start off our college football Saturday. Nikki, what's the record overall right now going into week 6?
Rolling into week 6, we are 2-22, 2-11, and 9.
Conrad, what's the record? Conrad, what's the record going into week 6?
35-20.
Nikki, what's the overall games you have bet so far this year?
442, 51.2% win percentage.
Wait, is that even okay? So just below 500? 500?
No,
I thought you were over.
51.2% win.
Oh,
percentage.
I thought you said 4. My bad. 51.2 win percentage, and you've done over 400 bets. I already forgot you said 220 and 211.
222, 211, and 9, 442 total bets.
Paragraph to remember.
We are well.
Wait, how many pushes? 9 pushes?
9 pushes. We are well on our way to the 1,000-place season. I will hit 500, the mid-century mark. I am going to give out my entire slate. Instagram, just one picture. 10 slates of 10 picks. I'm guaranteeing it coming out probably tomorrow because I'm not doing what I did last week. I'm not getting on the course trying to place action. I'm placing it all tomorrow. Ride, tail, fade, do whatever the fuck you want, but I'm placing another 100 bets and we're getting over the century.
Yeah, I'm like Nick, this is a huge par 3. Get the fuck out of the car. Real quick, Colgate or Nickel State? Nickel State's getting 3 points. I'm like, Nick, this is a huge par 3. No, yeah, like you said, I like where your head's at. And Con, you are what, 30?
35-20.
I mean, it's still a great record.
64%.
Still a great record. And I have a little segment for college football that we can dive into. I want to touch NFL real quick. So here's what we're going to do for college football. I am throwing some coin down this weekend. I'm throwing some coin down. One game, one mega game. I want us all three to discuss and come on one mega game that I'm going to be going on to. So before we get to that, I just want to touch NFL really quickly. Like I said, prime time. Figure it the fuck out, NFL. The Bears and the Commanders Thursday night is a fucking joke. Jacksonville State and Middle Tennessee might be a better game. Monday night, Green Bay, Las Vegas, fucking joke. Sunday night, Dallas and San Fran. I will be doing a Sunday night pick for that game on my Sunday pick.
That'll be a good game.
I usually do 1 and 4 o'clocks, but I have to do that 8 o'clock game on my Sunday morning pick vid. It's all about how you bounce back. 1 and 4, disgusting. You own your wins, you own your losses. I'm going to be having a mega pick video this weekend as I'm looking up and down the slate. Jacksonville Buffalo is going to be a good one. I will have on there. London game, I'm going to throw it the night before. Giants in Miami. Giants will get 12 points. I mean, they're so fucking bad. I mean, can they fucking cover a 12-point spread in the NFL when they last year were the best team covering the spread? Philly and LA. LA could be a sneaky team. Cincinnati must win. Must win against Arizona, who, by the way, Arizona, Nikki, give them all the credit in the world. Not that fucking bad. Not that bad at all. Jets must win against the Broncos. Must win. So a lot of must wins coming up for some teams early in the season. Minnesota 0-4 must win at home against Kansas City to even have a pulse. So I'm going to be getting to all that my Sunday morning pick vid. Conrad, this is delayed, but he can't get away from the alopecia awareness month. It's over now, right? It's over.
Yeah, no, I think it was the month of September. I think
it's gonna keep going. It's gonna keep going. Everyone donate. Text
as long as Josh Dobbs is winning games, we donate to alopecia. We bring alopecia awareness out.
Text Josh Dobbs at 225522 and donate for the cause. But fucking I just want to do a quick NFL preview. I want to do that really quickly because what I want to get into is college football this weekend, Saturday. Boys, I want one mega play, and I want it bad. And I want to know what you guys are feeling. I want us to tell me consensus. Bama, Texas A&M, Red River rivalry. I mean, Notre Dame, Louisville. There's a lot of good games to choose from. I think this is going to be a great slate.
Well, what kind of game do you want? You want like a top 25 matchup? Do you want?
So you know me. So you guys know me. I like doing the big games. I like taking juice. I like taking the underdogs. And I like big games. That being said, I like Bama and A&M. Like I want Bama so bad, but I think that's just to stay away. I don't know.
It's one.
There's no juice in that.
Alabama -1.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I usually like taking the underdog, but for some reason, I usually love to take A&M in this spot. I usually love to bet against Bama and try to be the sharp to get it, but I feel like you're the sharp now if you take Bama. But there's a lot of games to get into. That's what I was looking at. What do you guys like? Talk to me.
I'm literally looking at the slate for the first time right now.
I've got 8 plays. I think
Drop a couple
Go,
good
go.
ones, Nikki, while Conrad looks.
okay. Florida is not good. I've got Vandy to cover 18.5 at Florida in the swamp.
Vanderbilt, though, fuck. I don't know, man.
I don't know if I can put
Vandy-
money on Vandy.
Vandy is good enough to cover 18.5 against Florida. If Charlotte covered 15, they lost 22-7.
Yeah, but I hate that shit. I hate doing what happened last week.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand what we're saying, but Florida is not the Florida of old. 18.5 is a lot of points in an SEC matchup, regardless of who's playing. So I like Vandy in that one.
All right, give me another one. Make a case on another one.
All right, I've got Kentucky plus the points against Georgia, 14.5. Georgia has not played a complete football game yet. They are allowing teams to stay close enough. You don't like it, Conrad?
No, I think this is a get right. I think Georgia
Kentucky,
Kentucky.
people are on Kentucky and A&M. That's what scares me. People are on the underdogs. When people are on underdogs, I'm like, I want my underdog. I want my underdog that no one likes.
Yeah, that's it. I don't like that. I think that one is just.
Sorry, Nikki, keep going, Nikki. Keep going.
Yeah,
keep making
my
your
bad,
cases.
my bad,
Keep
my
making
bad,
your
my bad.
cases.
I think this one is a stone cold lock. Louisville, Notre Dame over 54.
See, I don't hate that because Notre Dame has scored nothing the past 2 games. I don't hate that. They're due for something. I don't hate that one bit.
That one's a shootout. I like Texas minus the 5 and over 60.5 in the Red River shootout. I don't
hate Texas. I don't hate Texas. I want Oklahoma to upset, but like this Dylan Gabriel guy is all of a sudden 21 in the highs. I haven't fucking heard of him until this fucking week. I don't hate that Texas play. What about Syracuse getting 9.5 against UNC?
That's almost a stay away from me, but I think I'm taking UNC because it's not at Syracuse. If it's at Syracuse, I'm 1000% taking Syracuse.
Right.
I can't go against UNC. I mean, they've been my horse, so
right. Yeah. No, you guys are right. And
UNC in every prop for Drake May.
Late night, Nikki, you were right. Maybe a couple weeks ago, Cal's only getting 8.5 against Oregon State. Cal's at home, but damn, what the fuck's up with that line?
Yeah, I mean I was so disappointed last week. I went under 500 because I didn't get my West Coast games to bring me back over 500 again. I am the West Coast king.
I texted you guys Stanford where they're up 6-0. They lost 42-6.
Oh my god!
I have a West Coast game on here if you want to hear it. Fresno State -6 at Wyoming. Fresno State is a good football team. Wyoming, who knows anything about Wyoming? I think Fresno State rolls into town, rolls through at least by 17.
Maryland, Ohio State. Maryland's been giving Ohio State tough games the past years, but I don't like that one bit. Yeah.
I'm not seeing like a big underdog that I love right now.
No, I'm not either. And you know what? I mean, over Notre Dame, Louisville, I'm starting to kind of really like.
Yeah, I do kind of like that, honestly. One that did catch my eye. Where did it just go? Where are you?
Where are you?
Here it is. Again, I haven't watched a lick of either of these two teams this year, but
I love
this
that.
is catching my eye.
I love
Rutgers at Wisconsin. Wisconsin laying 13 points. When was Wisconsin? When did they become a double-digit favorite? When did they become a double-digit favorite to anybody? They're not good.
In a Big Ten matchup against Rutgers, who plays great defense.
Greg Schiano, everyone remembers this against Ohio State. Greg Schiano pointing at Ryan Day like he was fucking Polly Walnuts.
I mean, I kind of like that. I like the Rutgers there. That's one that really caught my eye. That it's. I
don't hate that either. Arizona State getting 3.5, hosting Colorado. Just don't even want to touch any Colorado games. I don't want to bet against them. Just don't want to be that guy. What time's the Rutgers game at against Wisconsin? I'm looking right now. I'm trying to see it.
12
noon. Yeah, it's a nooner.
It's on LSU, which kind of sucks, but
LSU, Missouri getting 4.5. It opened at 7. That line's getting hammered. So stay away from that.
Not crazy juice, John, but I think a 3-point underdog that I think could win outright is Tulsa over Florida Atlantic.
Yeah, but I want a big game. I want a game on ESPN Plusing. I like where your head's at though, Nikki. I like where your head's at.
Wazoo over UCLA. 3-point underdogs. 3 p.m. Pac-12 network, which no one will be able to watch. But
I don't hate that either. I don't hate Washington State. Kentucky, man, I really want Kentucky to give Georgia a game, but
It's a lot of small
they covered Georgia last year. It's like, I mean, can they
They
run it
did. I had
back
Kentucky
again?
last year. That was
Right, me
big for me.
too. Me too. Yeah, they
I think it was
covered Will
6.5. I
Levis.
think it was 6.5.
Arkansas, they're fucking dog shit. TCU, Iowa State, disgusting. Texas Tech, Baylor. I mean, that just could be a shootout.
It's just gonna be a grimy weekend. A lot of these spreads are small. It's just gonna be a gross, grimy slug.
Right.
Ugh.
And you know what? And you know what the consensus is? I mean, if I win this one, we can take it and run it back next week. Nikki, let's do it. Over. What's it right now? Pull it up right now. What's the over
let's
in
do
that
it.
Louisville Notre
54.
Dame game? Let's do it. That's the one that we all said we liked immediately. Everything else we're kind of searching for. That's one that we're doing, Nikki. Let me know when you got it pulled up and can confirm that line for me.
Over 54.
Over 54. Nikki,
By the hook.
Lock me in. It's over 54 flat, right?
Yes, flat.
Yeah.
You want the 53.5, 53.5. Come on.
all right,
Always
all
by
right.
the hook. We
What-
don't
all right.
like pushes.
Nikki, give me 53.5, Nikki.
You want to max it?
And the same risk I did. The
Are we
same
maxed?
here.
Are
Hold
we
on.
maxed?
Here, hold on. Here, hold on. Let me text you, and then I'll tell the people the units. Let me text you. Let me tell people the units. Here, hold on.
Let's go.
What? Here, hold on. What's here? Hold
I'm
on,
recording
Nikki.
on my phone. I can't see. I can't see.
Okay,
it.
okay,
Just fucking
okay. Did you
Whisper
see my
it.
text?
Whisper it.
Did you
Nobody's
see-
listening. Pretend
did
like
you
nobody's
see-
listening.
Did you see my text?
I am recording on my phone. I got to pick.
I
my
know,
phone.
but it's not coming up. Okay.
Oh, he's using the front camera or the back camera. Look at that keyboard. Is that
Oh,
thing
yeah, he
like
is,
smack
yeah.
around? That's
He's
one of
using
those
those-
keyboards that when you click, it just smacks super loud.
All right,
Yeah,
so
we can't.
Nikki,
The same unit that we played last week.
okay, yeah. You want to split it? Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is great podcasting.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, Nikki, for everybody that doesn't know, I just put down 5 units on the over Notre Dame Louisville.
Wow.
53.5, Nikki. Let's do it. Buy that hook.
By the hook. Let's go.
5-unit banger to get me started this season. It hits. We come back next week, and then we maybe find that dog that we were looking for this week. Let's do it,
Yeah.
though. Let's do it. Boys, you got anything else to wrap up real quick about college football, NFL, this podcast in general? Longest episode of the season. And by the way, I checked episodes from 2 years ago and last year. Officially the longest streak of back-to-back episodes with no week break in between. Congrats, boys. We got a good thing going on right now. I hope Turb can join us. We're a 3-headed monster. I'd love to be a 2-headed monster with 2 guys, or 2 monsters, 2 heads, 1 3-headed monster right now. We got a good thing going.
John,
And I love it, boys.
I got a couple notes on NFL. I got a
2
couple notes,
monsters, 2 heads.
couple notes on NFL games. First time ever digging into an injury report on a Thursday. So
Yeah. Real quick,
take
John, before we
this-
get
Oh,
out of
forgot
here.
about this.
take this with a grain of salt. But I've got 2 running backs coming off the PUP list in Saquon and Jonathan Taylor. Saquon playing the Dolphins, but a guard, a center, and a tackle did not practice today.
So he might be hurt again.
Same thing
Dolphins.
with Jonathan Taylor. I don't even know if he's going to be playing, but same thing. Guard, center, tackle, no practice. Cowboys have a ton of players on the injury report. I've got Stephon Gilmore, Malik.
That's who the Colts are playing?
What?
Colts are playing the Cowboys?
No, Cowboys are playing the 49ers. You said that was going to
Oh,
be
your
Sunday night play, but they've got Stephon Gilmore, Malik Hooker, DeMarcus Lawrence, Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, Zach Martin, and Tyron Smith all on the injury report.
Jesus.
Give me that. I mean, the Cowboys would be a sharp play. They're going to be getting, 3-4 points maybe, if I double check that right now. But Jonathan Taylor, Nikki, confirmed, may not be playing. Because on fantasy, I picked him up in the 6th round because I knew he was going to be playing this year. But he has the O for out, and he's projected 14 points. So thank you for that, ESPN. I have no idea what to do with that information.
No, the way that the IR works, the physically unable to perform list, is you're out for guaranteed 4 games, and then you have a 21-day window where they can activate the player.
So it's waiting on the Colts.
Yes, or they have to sit out for the entire season because Kyler Murray is also coming off that list. They're not going to play him this week. They might take the full 21 days, stretch it out all the way through week 7 to activate.
Or you're also in the IR for the rest of the season. Makes sense.
Exactly.
Or you can't play the rest of the season. So Jonathan Taylor should sit tight. look at Shefty's tweets nonstop and see what the hell's going on with that. All right.
And then,
fair
Yeah.
enough.
only healthy scratch in the league that I saw is one of Conrad's old boys from Pittsburgh, Claypool, dismissed from
Oh,
the
he's a
team.
fucking bum.
Yeah, he's a fucking
He's
mess,
a bum, dude.
He's a
pussy.
mess.
18 catches,
Him and Juju, Antonio Brown, these Steelers wide receivers, man, are fucking. I mean,
Yeah.
jeez.
18 catches.
None of them are on the Steelers anymore. Let's just
I know,
make
but-
sure that
Where they sprouted from. But Nikki, Dallas is only getting 3.5 points. With all those guys out, I mean, Sanford might be a fucking hammer. Huh?
Well, those are not legitimate outs. Those are guys on the injury report that either were limited participants or did not practice. That could
Right.
be like a just a day off or a recuperate day.
Right.
I don't know. So that's why I'm saying take it with a grain of salt. But I'm saying that many key players on the injury report this late in the week could spell trouble.
And how I used to be as a
hammer the
gambler.
49ers.
Yeah, and how I used to be as a gambler is I used to love being like, oh, this team's lost 11 in a row. I used to like to take them to win. I like to go against trends. I kind of used to like being like, now look at injury reports. You take a team, and now Michael's is like, well, this line's depleted. Can they hold on? I'm like, what? They're depleted? I had no idea. But then I'm like, oh, I guess I'm on Vegas' side because everyone's with the other team, you know? So it's like sometimes it kind of works out when you're just negligent to that type of information. Like the
it's
Cowboys.
true.
The Cowboys might be the play because they're not the play. That's usually how it works sometimes, you know. But for San Fran, they're a fucking wagon right now. Nikki, thank you for that injury report, boys. Great episode. We're on a roll. We're gonna get this up tomorrow morning. Start the weekend off hot. Phillies, go Phils, go Conrad. Only saying that because
Go
of you,
Phils.
Conrad. Other than that, they can go suck themselves off. But for you, Conrad, go Phils. Has a World Series hat on. They didn't even win. That's the whole other territory of losing. But he got there. Can they get there again?
Fuck you.
But he got there. Can they get there again this year, boys? Hell of an episode. Let's keep this train moving on forward. And that was Epi 6 of the Rover Podcast.
Hang.
Big honk.